Okay, so let's get into it. We've got a live shot right now from one of our breaking news vehicles driving around the GTA, giving us a sense of what it looks like right now. You can see from this vantage point, no wipers on, no real evidence of precipitation. I came in from Burlington this morning. There was a little bit of rain sort of through the Oakville area, not a whole lot, but let's turn things over to Bill Coulter right now, who's really keeping an eye on the situation here. And Bill, some people may be looking out the window or even on their commute right now, not watching us and thinking, I don't really see that much going on. I know you're looking ahead, you're looking at the forecast. What is going on? What is about to happen?
Yeah, and that's why we call it a storm alert, right? We're alerting you to what's going to happen. If it was happening now, I mean, would you need us? Maybe, maybe not. But what is going to happen is going to be very changeable weather from here on in. It was fascinating to watch the temperature, and this is how the atmosphere acts like marble or layer cake, and you get when frozen at the surface and then melting aloft. That gives you flash freeze and freezing rain. So we were sitting at about 0.8, and then last hour it popped to 2.5. Now it's sitting at 2.8 at Pearson. Obviously, you're not going to get freezing rain when it's 2.8. But we are starting to see more cold air in the mix, and this line of precipitation through Midwestern Ontario down to the west end of Lake Ontario, perfectly placed as we start to see the cooler air wrap in to give us that changeover. When's that going to happen? For Toronto, probably around 8:39. It's already raining hard in Hamilton. We're getting showers at Pearson, but that temperature, just indicative of how many different layers of warmth and cool there is aloft. In the higher elevations is where we're going to see the changeover first, and the precipitation lasted in the winter variety the longest. So you've got an orange freezing rain warning through Midwestern Ontario. We have a winter storm warning, including Toronto. So lesser accumulation, slightly later changeover. It starts as rain, changes to a mix around 9 a.m. here in the city. And then from there on in, it's a bit of freezing rain and wet snow, and that will just continue. You can already see the changeover probably around Caledon over towards maybe King City and northward. Higher elevations in Midwestern Ontario up towards the Saugeen Shores also changing over. So it's starting to happen first at the higher elevations. The temperature will drift colder into the afternoon, 0 -1, and that's when we're going to see this consistent mix, heavy precipitation. If it's freezing at the surface, you could get black ice covered by a thin layer of snow, which is incredibly dangerous. Now, the good news is during the daylight hours in the major arteries, that brine and salt works really well to lower the freezing temperature of water, so they'll probably fare pretty well. The secondary routes, including your own sidewalks, those are what become extremely dangerous. So get on top of that, put down some rock salt. I will have more on your long-range forecast with our weather alert. I'm going to send it back inside.
That, Billy. And yeah, definitely starting to see some crews trying to kind of prevent slicker than usual conditions as much as possible ahead of this potential winter storm. So some briners and salters are out and about, give them some extra space. Not really seeing anything major on the incident front just at this time. I've been sort of tracking the changeable weather, kind of misty looking here out in Milton. This is 401 east of Highway 25. It's moving okay for now. I did notice earlier there was some rain that made its way through Burlington. I know Billy was mentioning Hamilton. Here's the 403 west of the QEW junction in Burlington. It looks okay. If anything, starting to see some delays on the South John Valley Parkway. This is south of York Mills. There was a crew that just traveled south of the Eglinton stretch, so it was starting to cause a little bit of a slowdown. But so far, so good on the incident front. Of course, stay with us throughout the morning, and we will let you know what is happening as it transpires. Let's check in a little bit early today with Susan Wynn at the TTC Transit Control Center this morning. Susan, I know we're kind of doing a lot of pre-preventative measures ahead of this weather. So what's the TTC doing to make sure that commuters stay safe today?
Good morning, Lisa. So we have crews that have been working out throughout the night to stay ahead of the storm. We've already treated all our streetcar overhead wires, including our subway and LRT rails as well, and we'll continue to do so as the weather conditions changes. We're doing the heavy lifting now to ensure that your morning commute is as smooth as possible. But as of right now, all 5 subway lines and the LRT are moving well as service builds up and rolls out for the morning rush. We do have extra staff in our stations to help you find your best route. But on our service side right now, we are hearing of a delay over at Dundas in Ontario, just east of Sherbourne. There's a medical emergency on board a 505 Dundas streetcar. So streetcar service is currently suspended on the Dundas route between Bay and Broadview. So leave yourself some extra travel time if you're in that area. But besides that, the rest of the network is moving well. If you are in our subway stations, make sure to pay attention to our announcements of any delays. In our station screen alerts will be updated as well. Follow us on X at TTC Notices, and we'll be updating our alerts online as soon as the moments changes, depending on the conditions. Good morning, Nick. Back to you in the newsroom.
Hey, Susan.